And obviously now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, once again, to tell us more about what's going on today, our announcements, obviously, that all of you will be reading about and seeing in the breakout and the demo sessions with our segment general managers this afternoon, is our president of the data center, Mr. Kirk Skaugen.
Well, good morning, and let me add my welcome to Transform. I just crossed my 6 months here at Lenovo after over 24 years at Intel Corporation, and I can tell you we've been really busy over the last 6 months, and I'm more excited and enthusiastic than ever, and hope to share some of that with you today. Today's event is called Transform, and today we're announcing major new transformations in Lenovo, in the data center, but more importantly, we're celebrating the business results that these platforms are going to have on society. And with international supercomputing going on in parallel in Frankfurt, some of the amazing scientific discoveries that are going to happen on some of these platforms. Lenovo has gone through some significant transformations in the last 2 years since we acquired the IBM x86 business. And that's really positioning us for this next phase of growth, and we'll talk more about that later. So today we're announcing the largest end-to-end data center portfolio in Lenovo's history, as you heard from YY. And we're really taking the best of the x86 heritage from our IBM acquisition of the x86 server business and combining that with the cost economics that we've delivered from kind of our China heritage. And as we've talked to some of the analysts in the room, it's really that best of the East and best of the West is combining together in this announcement today. We're going to be announcing 2 new brands, building on our position as the #1 x86 server vendor in both customer satisfaction and in reliability. And we're also celebrating next month in July a very significant milestone, which we'll be shipping our 20 millionth x86 server into the industry. So for us, it's an amazing time, and it's an inflection point to kind of look back, pause, but also share the next phase of Lenovo and the exciting vision for the future. We're also making some declarations on our vision for the future today. Again, international supercomputing is going on, and as it turns out, we're the fastest growing supercomputer company on Earth. We'll talk about that. Our goal today that we're announcing is that we plan in the next several years to become #1 in supercomputing, and we're going to put the investments behind that. We're also committing to our customers that we're going to disrupt the status quo and accelerate the pace of innovation, not just in our legacy server solutions, but also in software-defined. Because what we've heard from you is that lack of legacy, we don't have a huge router business or a huge SAN business to protect. It's that lack of legacy that's enabling us to invest and get ahead of the curve on this next transition to software-defined. So you're going to see us doing that through building our internal IP, through some significant joint ventures, and also through some mergers and acquisitions over the next several quarters. And altogether, we're driving to be the most trusted data center provider in the industry between us and our customers and our suppliers. So a quick summary of what we're going to dive into today, both in my keynote as well as in the breakout sessions. We're in this transformation to the next phase of Lenovo's data center growth. We're closing out our previous transformation. We actually, believe it or not, in the last 6 months or so, have renegotiated 18,000 contracts in 160 countries. We've built out an entire end-to-end organization from development and architecture all the way through sales and support. And this next transformation, I think, is going to really excite Lenovo shareholders. We're building the largest data center portfolio in our history. I think when IBM would be up here a couple years ago, we might have 2 or 3 servers to announce time to market with the next Intel platform. Today, we're announcing 14 new servers, 7 new storage systems, an expanded set of networking portfolios based on our legacy with Blade Network Technologies and other companies we've acquired. 2 new brands that we'll talk about for both data center infrastructure and software-defined, a new set of premium premier services, as well as a set of engineered solutions that are going to help our customers get to market faster. We're going to be celebrating our 20 millionth x86 server, and as Rod said, 25 years in x86 server compute, and Christian will be up here talking about 25 years of ThinkPad as well. And then a new end-to-end segmentation model, because all of these strategies without execution are kind of meaningless. I hope to give you some confidence in the transformation that Lenovo's gone through as well. So having observed Lenovo from one of its largest partners, Intel, for more than a couple decades, I thought I'd just start with why we have confidence on the foundation that we're building off of as we move from a PC company into a data center provider in a much more significant way. So Lenovo today is a company of $43 billion in sales. Absolutely astonishing. It puts us about Fortune 202 as a company. We're with 52,000 employees around the world. We're supporting and have service personnel, almost a little over 10,000 service personnel that service our servers and data center technologies in over 160 countries that provide on-site service and support. We have 7 data center research centers, and one of the reasons I came from Intel to Lenovo is I saw that Lenovo became #1 in PCs, not through cost cutting, but through innovation. It was Lenovo that was partnering on the next generation Ultrabooks and 2-in-1s and tablets in the Moto mods that you saw, but fundamentally, our path to #1 in data center is going to be built on innovation. And then lastly, we're one of the last companies that's actually building not only our own motherboards and our own motherboard factories, but also with 5 global data center manufacturing facilities. Today, we build about 4 devices a second, but we also build about over 100 servers per hour. And the cost economics we get, and I just visited our Shenzhen factory, of having everything from screws to microprocessors come up through the elevator on the first floor, go left to build PCs and ThinkPads, and go right to build server technology, means we have some of the world's most cost-effective solutions so we can compete in things like hyperscale computing. So it's with that that I think we're excited about the foundation that we can build off of on the data center group. So today, as we stated, this event is about transformation. And today I want to talk about 3 things we're going to transform. Number 1 is the customer experience. Number 2 is the data center and our customer base with software-defined infrastructure. And then the third is to talk about how we plan to execute flawlessly with a new transformation that we've had internally at Lenovo. So let's dive into it. On customer experience, really, what does it mean to transform customer experience? Industry pundits say that if you're not constantly innovating, you can fall behind. And certainly the technology industry that we're in is transforming at record speed. 42% of business leaders or CIOs say that digital first is their top priority, but less than 50% actually admit that they have a strategy to get there. So people are looking for a partner to keep pace with that innovation and change, and that's really what we're driving to at Lenovo. So today we're announcing a set of plans to take another step function in customer experience and building off of our #1 position. Just recently, Gartner chose Lenovo as the number 24 supply chains of companies over $12 billion. We're up there with Amazon, Coca-Cola, and we've now completely re-architected our supply chain in the data center group from end to end. Today, we can deliver 90% of our SKUs, order to ship in less than 7 days. And the artificial intelligence that YY mentioned is optimizing our performance even further. In services, as we talked about, we're now in 160 countries, supporting on-site support, 50 different call centers around the world for local language support, and we're today announcing a whole set of new premier support services that I'll get into in a second, but we're building on what's already better than 90% customer satisfaction in this space. And then in development, for all the engineers out there, we started foundationally for this new set of products talking about being #1 in reliability and the lowest downtime of any x86 server vendor on the planet. And these systems today are architected to basically extend that leadership position. So let me tell you the realities of reliability. This is ITIC. It's a reliability report. 750 CIOs and IT managers from more than 20 countries. So North America, Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, Africa. This isn't anything that's paid for with sponsorship dollars. Lenovo has been #1 for 4 years running on x86 reliability. This is the amount of downtime, 4 hours or more, in mission-critical environments from the leading x86 providers. So you can see relative to our top two competitors that are ahead of us, HP and Dell, you can see from ITIC why we're building foundationally off of this and why it's foundational to how we're developing these new platforms. In customer satisfaction, we are also rated #1 in x86 server customer satisfaction. And this year, we're now incentivizing every single Lenovo employee on customer satisfaction and customer experience. It's been a huge mandate from myself and most importantly, YY as our CEO. So you may say, well, what is the basis of this #1 in customer satisfaction? And it's not just being #1 in one category, it's actually being #1 in 21 of the 22 categories that TBR talks about. So whether it's performance, support systems, online product information, parts and availability replacement, Lenovo is #1 in 21 of the 22 categories and #1 for 6 consecutive studies going back to Q1 of 2015. So this, again, as we talk about the new product introductions, is something that we absolutely want to build on, and we're humbled by it, and we want to continue to do better. So let's start now on the new products and talk about how we're going to transform the data center. So today, we are announcing 2 new product offerings, ThinkAgile and ThinkSystem. Next slide, please. If you think about the 25 years of ThinkPad that Christian's going to talk about, Lenovo has a continuous learning culture. We're fearless innovators, we're risk takers, we continuously learn, but most importantly, I think we're humble and we have some humility, that when we fail, we can fail fast, we learn and we improve. And that's really what drove ThinkPad to #1. It took about 8 years from the acquisition of IBM's x86 PC business before Lenovo became #1. But it was that innovation, that listening and learning, and that improving. And as you look at the 25 years of ThinkPad, there were some amazing successes, but there were also some amazing failures along the way. But each and every time we learned and made things better. So this year, as Rod said, we're not just celebrating 25 years of ThinkPad, but we're celebrating 25 years of x86 server development since the original IBM PC servers in 1992. And it's a significant day for Lenovo. Today we're excited to announce 2 new brands, ThinkSystem and ThinkAgile. And it's an important new announcement that we started almost 3 years ago when we acquired the x86 server business. Why don't we run a video and we'll show you a little bit about ThinkSystem and ThinkAgile.
The status quo is comfortable. It gets you by. But if you think that's good enough for your data center, think again. If adoption is becoming more complicated when it should be simpler, think again. If others are selling you technology that's best for them, not for you, think again. It's time for answers that win today and tomorrow. Agile, innovative, different. Because different is better. Different embraces change and makes adoption simple. Different designs itself around you, using 25 years of innovation in design and R&D. Different transforms. It gives you ThinkSystem, world record performance, most reliable, easy to integrate, scales faster. Different empowers you with ThinkAgile. It redefines the experience, giving you the speed of cloud and the control of on-premise IT, responding faster to what your business really needs. Different defines the future. Introducing Lenovo ThinkSystem and ThinkAgile.
All right, good stuff, huh? So it's built off of this 25-year history of us being in the x86 server business, the commitment we established 3 years ago after acquiring the x86 server business to be and have the most reliable, most agile, and most highest performing data center solutions on the planet. So today we're announcing 2 brands. ThinkSystem is for the traditional data center infrastructure, and ThinkAgile is our brand for software-defined infrastructure. And again, the teams challenged themselves from the start, how do we build off this rich heritage, expanding our position as #1 in customer satisfaction, reliability, and one of the world's best supply chains. So let's start and look at the next set of solutions. We have always prided ourselves that little things don't mean a lot, little things mean everything. So today, as we sit on the legacy solutions, we have over 30 world record performance benchmarks on Intel architecture, and more than actually 150 since we started tracking this back in 2001. So it's the little pieces of innovation, it's the fine-tuning that we do with our partners like an Intel or a Microsoft, an SAP, VMware, and Nutanix that's enabling us to get these world record performance benchmarks. And with this next generation of solutions, we think we'll continue to certainly do that. So today we're announcing the most comprehensive portfolio ever in our data center history. There's 14 servers, 7 storage devices, and 5 network switches. We're also announcing, which is super important to our customer base, a set of new premier service options that's giving you fast access directly to a level 2 support person. No automated response system involved. You get to pick up the phone and directly talk to a level 2 support person that's going to have end-to-end ownership of the customer experience for ThinkSystem. With ThinkAgile, that's going to be completely bundled with every ThinkAgile you purchase. In addition, we're having white glove service on site that'll actually unbox the product for you and get it up and running. It's an entirely new set of solutions for hybrid cloud, for big data analytics and database applications around these engineered solutions. These are like 40 to 50-page guides where we've fine-tuned the most important applications around virtual desktop infrastructure and those kinds of applications, working side by side with all of our ISV partners. So significantly expanding not just the hardware, but the software solutions that obviously you as our customers are running. So if you look at ThinkSystem innovation, again, it was designed for the ultimate in flexibility, performance, and reliability. It's a single now unified brand that combines what used to be the Lenovo ThinkServer and the IBM System X products now into a single brand that spans servers, storage, and networking. We're basically future-proofing it for the next generation data center, and it's a significantly simplified portfolio. One of the big pieces that we've heard is that the complexity of our competitors has really been overwhelming to customers. So we're building a more flexible, more agile solution set that requires less work, less qualification, and more future-proofing. There's a bunch of things in this that you'll see in the demos around faster time to service in terms of the modularity of the systems, 12% faster service equating to almost $50,000 per hour of reduced downtime. Some new high-density options where we have 4 nodes in a 2U, twice the density to improve and reduce OpEx and mission-critical workloads. And then in high-performance computing and supercomputing, we're going to spend some time on that here shortly. We're announcing new water-cooled solutions. We have some of the most premier water-cooled solutions in the world, with more than 25 patents pending now, just in the water-cooled solutions alone for supercomputing. The performance that we think we're going to see out of these systems is significant. We're building off of that legacy that we have today on the existing Intel solutions. Today, we believe we have more than 50% of SAP HANA installations in the world. In fact, SAP just went public that they're running their internal SAP HANA on Lenovo hardware now. We're seeing a 59% increase in performance on SAP HANA generation on generation. We're seeing 31% lower total cost of ownership. We believe this will continue our position of having the highest level of 5 nines in the x86 server industry. And all of these servers will start being available later this summer when the Intel announcements come out. We're also announcing the largest storage portfolio in our history, significantly larger than anything we've done in the past. These are all available today, including some new value class storage offerings. And our network portfolio is expanding now significantly. Well, that was a big surprise when I came into Lenovo, seeing the hundreds of engineers we had from the acquisition of Blade Network Technologies and others with our teams in Romania, Santa Clara, really building out both the embedded portfolio, but also the top of rack switches around 10 gig, 25 gig, and 100 gig. Significantly better economics, but all the performance you'd expect from the largest networking companies in the world. And those are also available today. On ThinkAgile and software defined, I think the one thing that has kind of overwhelmed me since coming into Lenovo is we are being embraced by our customers because of our lack of legacy. We're not trying to sell you one more legacy SAN at 65% margins. ThinkAgile really was founded, kind of born free from the shackles of legacy thinking and legacy infrastructure. And this is just the beginning of what's going to be an amazing new brand and the transformation to software-defined. So for Lenovo, we're going to invest in our own internal organic IP. I'll foreshadow there's some significant joint ventures and some mergers and acquisitions that are going to be coming in this space. And so this will be the foundation for our software-defined networking and storage, for IoT, and ultimately for the 5G build-out as well. So this is all built for data centers of tomorrow that require fluid resources, tightly integrated software and hardware, and kind of an appliance, selling at the rack level. And so we'll show you how that is going to take place here in a second. ThinkAgile, we have a few different offerings. One is around hyperconverged storage, hybrid cloud, and also software-defined storage. So we're really trying to redefine the customer experience. There's two different solutions we're having today. It's a Microsoft Azure solution and a Nutanix solution. These are going to be available both in the appliance space as well as in a full rack solution. And we're really simplifying and trying to transform the entire customer experience from how you order it. We've got new capacity planning tools that used to take literally days for us to get the capacity planning done. It's now going down to literally minutes. We've got new order, delivery, deployment, administration, service, something we're calling ThinkAgile Advantage, which is the white glove unboxing of the actual solutions on-prem. So the whole thing, when you hear about it in the breakout sessions, about transforming the entire customer experience with both an HX solution and an SX solution. So again, available at the rack level from both Nutanix and for Microsoft solutions, available in just a few months. Many of you in the audience, since the Microsoft Airlift event in Seattle, have started using these things, and the feedback to date has been fantastic. We appreciate the early customer adoption that we've seen from people in the audience here.